Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the HarlequinCoHO Invitational Tournament, Round of 8, Game 1 between AirTaylor and CryptoN. And before we go any further with this tournament, I want to take just a moment to recap the brackets so far. So if you have not had a chance to watch either the games between Automed and Inverse, or the game between ProPipe and Nystrom, please stop watching this and go back and watch those because I am going to spoil those results. Let's take a look at the brackets here now, and you will see that so far in the Automed versus Inverse game, Automed won 2-1 and is advancing on to round 2, which is going to be the semifinals. And over there on the right-hand side, you can see that ProPipe soundly defeated Nystrom 2-0 and is also moving on. Those two players are on opposite sides of the semifinals, so that leaves us with the results from AirTaylor and CryptoN. Whoever wins this match will move on to fight in the semifinals against ProPipe. So, with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and get this replay started. First off, in the northern position here, this is of course the map Angoville, which is what everybody plays first for the first round here. We have AirTaylor, our airborne player. AirTaylor has airdropped smoke, air reconnaissance, airdropped AT support, airdropped supply drops, and strafing run. You can see his first engineers here building a barracks, second engineers coming out right now. Meanwhile, on the southern side of the map, and I'm going to go ahead and switch to his point of view, we have CryptoN. CryptoN is playing as his Blitzkrieg commander. He has several other commanders that you've definitely seen before on my channel. You can see he went ahead and built these field pioneers second, and meanwhile his first pioneers are just finishing his Wehrmacht quarters. Taking a look at his abilities here, you can see that CryptoN has got infantry pillage, flares, stormtroopers, manpower blitz, and heavy armor support. That's the 1150 version of heavy armor support. Tiger and Stug or Ostwind usually comes out of that. So let's take a while here just to look at the mini-map right now and see the kind of caps that are going for both of these players. So you can see some very, very interesting opening play going on right now by CryptoN. You can see with his two initial pioneers, he has opted not even to go for any of his adjacent territories, instead sending each to the upper left and the upper right to try and cap those fuel points. So I'm curious to see where he's going to go with that. He is most likely just trying to slow down AirTaylor a little bit, but also get control of those really juicy points. Meanwhile, you can see his Volksgrenadiers here advancing out on the left. So let's go ahead and take a look back and see now where AirTaylor is going. It looks like AirTaylor grabbed this strategic point first and then moved his engineers off to the left to cap this high munitions point. And his second engineers on the right-hand side went for both of these juicy caps here. He went for the fuel point and the munitions point. So looks like we do have a unit coming out for Taylor. And Taylor actually got just regular riflemen right away here. So the regular riflemen came out. They see these pioneers trying to cap his fuel point, scare them off, and are likely going to start decapping that right away. Meanwhile, you can see that the engineers on the right come on out to see this fuel point, and they just narrowly avoid the crippling trap placed on the ground by CryptoN. So it looks like these field pioneers are just kind of being annoying out there with those. Volksgrenadiers out first for CryptoN, followed by an accomplished motorcycle. Looks like they are going to be enough to scare away the engineers here just a little bit. This accomplished motorcycle just kind of working in pair here. And let's take a moment here just to look at some of the army items. So far, the Volksgrenadiers have got decreased reinforcement cost by 30%, 9% accuracy, 16% squad health. On the other hand, you can see that AirTaylor's engineers here have got minesweeper detection radius by 50%, 20% cap speed, and a large health regeneration army item there. Looks like he is just absolutely pinned, and these poor engineers have got to get out of there. You can see they take a single casualty, now running away, and it looks like CryptoN is being very aggressive with his motorcycle. He wants to get as many kills as he possibly can. This is what motorcycles absolutely excel at. Of course, accuracy goes down when he's chasing it, but we'll see if he can just barely maybe get that kill. Firing away there, and it looks like no luck, and he turns around before he gets within range of that machine gun up there. So rifleman by AirTaylor now in the field, just kind of poking away, but we just kind of have just light skirmishing here at the beginning. Nobody really committing too much. Taylor backing away. Meanwhile, on the right-hand side, you can see that Taylor's riflemen getting deep into this victory point territory here, and looks like CryptoN having to retreat with his pioneers that were taking refuge in that small building right now. So A lot of map control right now for both players, but really no units at all on the right-hand side for CryptoN. CryptoN is pretty dedicated to the left at the moment. You can see these field pioneers, by the way, being microed the whole time, just dropping these little free crippling traps all over the place, and just kind of hanging out here. Fatherland HMG team now in the field there for CryptoN. Looks like that was the third unit produced by him. No, he's got 2 Volk squads out as well. Here comes his second Volk squad coming out right now. So now you can see that it looks like the rifleman just kind of barely walked within range of that Fatherland HMG team, got a little bit suppressed, and then were able to crawl on out of there. Wilson's rifleman, of course, on the field now, and you can even see that it looks like AirTaylor wasted no time upgrading minesweepers here for his engineers. He knows that he has to worry about that, and he is now amply prepared for that threat. And check it out, looks like we have a little bit more firefighting going on right now. Fatherland HMG team putting a lot of pressure on these forward riflemen here. Looks like the Volksgrenadiers check it out. Oh, nice, nice, nice. We got early smoke coming down here. Attempting a flank right now with Wilson's rifleman, trying to get around the backside of that Fatherland HMG team. Looks like it's retreating, but no, that's just how fast it moves in friendly territory here. So he gets on out of there. It looks like we have a single hand grenade chucked on over here on the left. Volksgrenadiers taking a single casualty, now a second casualty. They are definitely outgunned, at least by that early Browning automatic rifle fire from the Wilson's crew there. And meanwhile, these wounded riflemen just kind of backing out. So both teams, it looks like both squads here were able to just kind of back away. So not too many losses there. You can see just kind of everybody being a little bit cautious. This is, of course, their first game here so far. And it looks like right now victory points, however, are up for AirTaylor. AirTaylor has both of the victory points on the right, whereas it looks like CryptoN is just now getting victory point control here on the left. So 2-1, meaning CryptoN is bleeding out 445 points currently to 500 for AirTaylor. So you can see a little bit of defensive mining going on in the front of CryptoN's base. And now CryptoN has got the close combat Volksgrenadiers out. This hero unit really, really brutal in close range with their MP40s. Meanwhile, nice looking pin here on the left. Even though CryptoN does not have control over, majority control over victory points, he is doing a good job just kind of keeping AirTaylor in his base. And now that we've kind of seen a little bit of what's going on here, I'm going to go ahead and switch on over to AirTaylor's point of view. So do note the change of color on the mini-map. Rifleman right now just kind of having a reasonable long-range fight here with the close combat Volks. That's an okay distance, but usually when the close combat Volks close that distance, it can get very deadly. You can see here a little bit of guarding the flank a little bit here with the normal motorcycle, or accomplished motorcycle rather. And right now, just kind of, investigatory attacks going on is kind of the best way I could describe that. Rifleman, a single squad of riflemen on the right-hand side for AirTaylor, just kind of keeping things under control, and now he's really laying the fire into this close combat Volksgrenadier squad, who is just going to kind of back out for the time being. You can see just kind of a lot of posturing right now. Fatherland HMG team opening up once again on units trying to get out of the base, and you can see there's 5 of them left, very low hit points, so quite wounded there. And looks like a supply yard going up first for Taylor, so hasn't bothered getting Browning automatic rifles or anything like that, and it looks like just barely sneaking by over here on the right-hand side, a single squad of riflemen. It looks like that was the squad of riflemen that were on the far right-hand side. They snuck over from the right to the left and are now just kind of back-capping this munitions point, just to kind of be annoying, but it looks like CryptoN is well aware of their presence here and is picking them off, and it looks like they're going to have to retreat through his entire army. Oh no, he could take a couple of casualties right now. Looks like just continuing to take free shots at these riflemen. Oh, and the rifleman, he ran by it. He set off the crippling trap right in front of everybody, so they all got pinned. But now you can see them retreating in slow motion. So this is the slow motion crippling trap retreat in the front of the Fatherland HMG team. So kind of costly retreat there, but whatever works. So in the meanwhile, it looks like we have these very, very wounded pioneers here trying their best to recap some of this territory here on the right, but a massive, massive push now coming here for AirTaylor. AirTaylor has kind of given up, it looks like, on the left. He left a token Wilson's Rifleman squad here just to kind of keep returning fire. Meanwhile, a large bulk of his forces right now moving on in. You can see he's got 2 engineer squads, and it looks like 3 rifleman squads. Sorry, that is 2 rifleman squads and 2 engineer squads. So just capping that point, and now just kind of backing out again. Kind of cautious play by both players at this point in the game. But he has now, AirTaylor got his first Greyhound out. So as you can see, he went for a supply yard and motor pool, and using his first, 100 munitions that he had here just to go ahead and upgrade both of those things on the Greyhound armored car right now. Getting the armored skirts first, going into the 50 caliber machine gun. Meanwhile, on the bottom side of the map, you can see that CryptoN did get his Krieg barracks up, and of course, this is is kind of a classic timing here. Blitz anti-tank gun now on the move for CryptoN, and this is just your classic battle between Greyhound and having an anti-tank gun out there. So kind of the name of the game for CryptoN is just to make sure he positions his anti-tank gun well enough to kind of mitigate any damage that this fast Greyhound will do. So as you can see, he is just kind of getting it into position here. Blitz anti-tank gun can fire 3 times while cloaked if you were not aware, but for the time being, Greyhound armored car is unopposed right now. You can see he's just kind of firing away at all of these men hanging out here. But now Blitz anti-tank gun taking some long-range shots. Second shot a miss, first shot here kind of denting the armor a little bit, and engineers are on the spot with the repairs. So that's looking kind of okay. Again, nobody really had a severe advantage here, except for the fact that AirTaylor does have dominant control over the victory point. So it looks like he's not even guarding that southern victory point there from the front. He's more just trying to cut off access across this crossroads here. So a little bit of scout playing going on right now, definitely revealing this area. You can see revealing the anti-tank gun. So he's well aware of the positioning on that anti-tank gun, and kind of is just kind of testing the boundaries of where he can come in here and be effective. You can see he's just kind of taking some pot shots here at these field pioneers, firing away at the close combat folks, and you can see it looks like he does have a second Greyhound armored car fully upgraded now on the right-hand side of the map. So having that obs plane out there, giving a good view of these anti-tank guns right now is kind of freeing him up to just kind of play around with these M8 Greyhounds. So Greyhound's just kind of, harassing away. He's definitely not charging in because he knows he could risk losing them. Definitely putting the hurt on this single squad of Volksgrenadiers trying to get up there. But you can see just a lot of firing going on right now. I'm kind of curious to see exactly how he's going to use these Greyhounds now that he knows where the anti-tank guns are. And also I'm curious to see, let me take a peek here at CryptoN. Yes, he is now getting a second anti-tank gun. He knows that the Greyhounds are in force on the field, and he wants to be able to defend both of his flanks. So. And it looks like we have kind of a combined assault going on here. I want to see where these guys are going. They have to be careful. This was a brilliant idea by CryptoN. CryptoN just threw a mine in the front of his base right away, just to make sure no Greyhounds would sneak on in as soon as they came out. But now check this out. It looks like AirTaylor has got some Greyhound mines in the middle of the road there. So we'll have to see if those get used later on. I would have honestly liked to have seen them more in the middle because usually traffic goes back and forth, but not so much up and down. But now you can see that it looks like these Greyhounds are just kind of charging on in here, trying to make sure that he's got dominant control over this area. But still, again, a lot of just kind of cautious behavior. He's not being too crazy with these just yet. But where are these guys going? It looks like he's going to try some sneaky base attack action. Perhaps because he believes there's only a single anti-tank gun on the left-hand side of the field now. Looks like he's taking some pot shots at this Krieg barracks at the moment here. Obs plane, using the obs plane. He sees the base. He sees the anti-tank gun. Will he still go for it? Kind of, again, still taking some random shots here at the Krieg barracks, and it looks like, yes, he's going to go for it, crashing through that little wooden fence right now, and just charging on in. We have a rifle squad. We have the mine-sweeping engineers, and it looks like this Greyhound is charging in, trying to see if he can get a good flank on this anti-tank gun, but he knows that anti-tank gun is now in proper position, so they're using the buildings for their own cover, just kind of firing away here. Oh, nice shot by the anti-tank gun right there, taking out a single one of these mine-sweeping Greyhounds, and now, mine-sweeping engineers rather, and now the Greyhounds are totally revealed by this flare. Anti-tank guns are kind of firing away, and it looks like AirTaylor is just going to be okay with that. It was that's kind of a smart move on his part. It was it could have been a really good attack, but it wasn't, so he backs away. He's not going to press the issue any further if it's not going to work. So meanwhile, you can see that CryptoN has both of his anti-tank guns here, both the Blitz anti-tank gun and the regular one, camouflaged up, just kind of hanging out, trying to defend against this side of the map. But it looks like these speedy Greyhounds are already out of there, off to greener pastures. And check this out. It looks like AirTaylor now realizing that the anti-tank guns are on the opposite side of the map is just going to go ahead and attack the left now. So this is quite a bit of back and forth action going on here. You can see that this sniper just took a pot shot here at these riflemen. By the way, riflemen now with the Browning automatic rifle upgrades. Looks like he's moving on in. Oh god, but there are landmines and there are crippling traps and heavy machine gun teams. There's all sorts of bad stuff here. You can see that these infantry are having quite a hard time. Greyhounds now moving in, really chewing up these close combat Volksgrenadiers. Close combat Volks taking yet another casualty. Looks like only a single man surviving that, but no, landmines go off in the front of the riflemen now. But this is a big, huge attack here on the left. Looks like the minesweepers are laying some mines, actually. We have sniper and machine gun crossfire here on this one squad of riflemen on that side. And now the Greyhounds are just kind of, again, just attacking the outskirts of this position. Scanning the battlefield real quick, I can see that these two anti-tank guns are now being moved up into position, but are definitely not there at the moment. So AirTaylor just kind of being really